May I have your attention, please? It's time for the final countdown. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's rock.
He plays in as many bands as I do, so we have quite a bit in common.
Let's repeat that because there was no sound. So yeah, welcome guys, welcome. Sorry, no sound.
Welcome,
all right,
everyone.
So welcome to a edition 13 of WAW with our good friend
Rolly DeVore, and
multi-talented guy.
Yes, we're very excited to have Rolly. I am because he's one of the few guys that's in as many tribute bands as I'm in.
So many.
That's a very rare
I mean, when
thing,
I was putting together our little video clip, I was like, this guy has talent that just does not end.
No,
he's massive. He was on the drums. I'm like, oh, he's a drummer. And then he was singing. I'm like, he's a singer.
And he's playing the guitar.
Oh my gosh.
Plays the bass. He
massive,
plays keys.
Massive talent.
Yes.
Massive talent.
So we're very excited to have him with us tonight. Should be a very interesting conversation. But we forgot to ask the eternal question.
All right, here we go. Woot's happening.
I'll tell you what's happening. Yeah. And you guys probably think I'm nuts for even being on here tonight because the Lakers are playing right now.
We actually got that question in one of our advertisements.
It's the biggest game of the year, guys. Biggest game of the year.
But that's where DVD or DVRs.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So I've got it on the DVR. But now, if Bob Bacon happens to tune in tonight, hey, there he is.
There he is. Hello, Bob.
Bob, please keep me abreast of the score as we're going along here for the first hour.
Bob, go ahead and just pop in with the score every once in a while, just to keep Jim kind of centered, because he's going to be wanting to look at his phone and he needs to concentrate on what we're doing here. And if we're losing, don't pop in with the score. It's going to be very distracting.
Yeah.
Pamela, hello. Kimberly, hello.
Denise,
thank you. Yes.
Hi, Denise. Thanks for joining us.
Yes.
Thanks for letting us know that we had no sound once again.
Thank you. Yes. Sorry about that. Sorry. We're so caught up in the internet issues.
Yes.
Anyways, welcome everybody. We're so happy that you're all on with us, and we have a little bit of announcements to make.
Yes. First, we're going to mention our sponsor.
Yes.
You want to bring that up for us?
Yeah. So talk about him, and I'll bring him up for us.
Okay. So if you need a mechanic, you have any kind of automotive issue whatsoever, this is the guy you want to go to. Calvin Ellis, Calvin's Auto Repair, which is in Glendale, California.
Yep. Hold on. Let me get our little banner off of that so you can see the address.
There you go. 501 East Glen Oaks Boulevard in Glendale, California. And remember that if you have any kind of issue at all that you need to address, if you mention WAW, Calvin's going to give you 10% off of your service. So don't forget to do that when you go to visit him. If you're not local to Calvin, you know what I would suggest is to get the premium service from AAA because then they can tow it as far as you need
Well,
them to.
premium is like,
She's an expert on that
Yeah.
because she used to work for AAA.
I did. For 15 years, I worked for the Auto Club.
Yeah. So,
So 15, I feel
tell
like,
them what the difference
well, I
is.
feel like the Plus is all you need. A Plus is 120 miles. You
Yeah.
you don't need more than 120 miles.
Yeah.
Premium is a lot. Plus is a good membership.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
plus.
So,
The
now how much is
standard-
that a year though?
I think it's like $105. It's not
Is
a
that
lot,
what it is?
but it's
105?
peace of mind. It's not a lot. It's not a
Well,
lot.
this is the thing, guys. You could say, well, I live down in Long Beach. Why would I go up to Glendale to get my car worked on? For one good reason, that when
Yeah.
you take it into Calvin, he's not going to
honest.
overcharge
He's
you.
honest.
For one thing, he's not going to tell you that you need a new engine when all you need is an oil change, right?
So Ernie says, watching you right now in the car stereo. What beautiful, deep, rich voices. Thank you, Ernie.
Thank you so much, Ernie.
We love Ernie.
Appreciate that, brother.
You guys.
See, Katie says Calvin is great.
Calvin is great.
she's a
Calvin is
satisfied-
great. Yeah.
A satisfied customer.
Yeah. So we have another little announcement. So next week, instead of having Woot Wednesday, we're going to have Woot Thursday, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but we have a little scheduling conflict.
You want to tell them what that is?
It is. My daughter is taking me to Paso Robles.
Paso Robles.
Robles.
Paso Robles.
Robles. You have to roll the R.
You do.
Yeah.
To make it
To
legitimate.
do a 2-day wine trip.
that what it
Surprise,
is?
surprise.
When she gets back, she's probably going to be sloshed.
Yeah, so Thursday's going to be a fun night, but we have a very special guest next Thursday. So again,
Yes.
we are not coming to you on the 26th, Woot Wednesday.
Yes.
Next Wednesday, we are going to flip it to Thursday.
Thursday.
One
So,
week
yeah,
only.
Please
1 week
make
only.
a note of that.
Yeah.
Our guest, normally the people that we have on the show are people that we're very familiar with and have known for years. This is going to be a little different.
Yeah.
Our guest next week is actually just a new friend of ours that
New
we've
friend.
just come to know.
It's a new print.
Her name is Chrissy Rass, and she plays in a couple of tribute bands that Totally Go-Go's.
Yeah.
Femme Halen.
Femme
And
Halen.
She also plays in a very popular all-female cover band called Pulp Vixen.
So next week's going to be very interesting for our female tribute artists. We're going to be discussing women in the tribute world.
Yeah, and we want, if you
Yeah.
are a woman in a tribute band, we want to get some of your input on it too as we're interviewing Chrissy. So
Yeah.
make sure to tune in, and we encourage your involvement in that. As far as shows that are on the calendar right now, we've got a couple of really, really good ones coming up here. Led Zeppelin is going to be playing at the Canyon in Santa Clarita on Saturday, May 29th. That's the Canyon in Santa Clarita, California. We're going to be playing from 8 till probably about 10 or so. And the very next day, TLR is going to be on Catalina Island.
Oh,
So it's going to be
that is going to be a fun one.
Yeah,
Catalina Island.
We're going to be
on
playing
an
with,
island.
we're going to be playing with the stellar tribute to Journey, DSB.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to
So-
be in heaven.
Tribute band heaven.
Journey and Eagles. I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry, all you haters. I'm a huge Journey fan, always have been. My entire
Yeah.
high school years were Journey. Jim tells me not to tell people that.
No. I don't tell you that. I love Journey.
No, you tell me not to tell people I like country.
Country, yeah.
Yeah.
Please don't
I love
mention
country.
that. We have a reputation.
I'm a country girl.
We
I
have
know.
a reputation to
You know
uphold
what?
here.
Put me in a country western bar. I can do every single dance.
Yeah, I would never
Boot,
know.
scoot, and boogie. I
Yeah.
can do the tush push.
But I wouldn't
Copper
know.
Penny.
I would never know that
I could
because
do it all.
I would never walk into one of those establishments.
I could do it all.
Okay, so so May 29th, Led Zeppelin at the Santa Clarita Canyon, and the very next day, Catalina Island with TLR and
What's
DSB.
the date? What's the date on Catalina?
It's the 30th.
Pamela wants to know.
Pamela, the 30th.
30th.
Pamela. It's going to be.
That is going to be a party.
Oh man, it's going to be
We are going to be on
crazy,
an
guys.
island.
Yep.
Party.
So that means we're getting home late on Friday. Got to get up early the next day to head over to Catalina.
That is nothing new for us.
Yeah.
We are known to like function off of like 3 hours sleep and go, right?
Yeah, that's right. But I hate to have to sing when that's the situation.
Yeah. I don't have to worry about
Unfortunately,
singing.
she doesn't.
No.
All she does is
No, I'm just like,
sit there
okay,
and
where
watch
are
us
we going
work.
next?
And there's one other show I want to make you aware of that's just a couple of weeks away, 2.5 weeks away, but it's going to be huge. Led Zeppelin at the Burbank Starlight Bowl
Ooh.
on June 5th. If
I
you've
love
never-
the Starlight
Yeah, the
Bowl.
Starlight
Yeah, I love
Bowl
the
is-
Starlight Bowl.
it's
I saw
awesome.
Raleigh clapping just now.
But the thing that makes this one special is Led Zeppelin is going to be celebrating the 50-year anniversary of Led Zeppelin 4. This year,
Wow.
50 years ago, Led Zeppelin put out their 4th album.
That is not even crazy. I mean,
That's
those boys aren't even 50 years old, are they?
what are you talking
I'm
about?
just teasing. I'm teasing. Doesn't
These guys
seem
are
like
in their
they are.
70s now. Yeah, they're in their 70s.
Yeah, that's so weird.
And we're not far behind, especially you.
Speak for
I'm just
yourself,
kidding.
mister. I'm just entering the 50s. You're like all in the 60s.
But yes, please mark your calendars for that one, guys. That's going to be awesome. It's going to be at the Starlight Bowl, Burbank, California.
Yep.
Led Zeppelin 4 in its entirety. And we're going to be playing a bunch of your other favorites too. So it's not just the album. We're going to be playing for a good 90 minutes to 2 hours. that
Hey,
night.
Manny. Hey, Becky.
Hi, Becky.
Cool. So again, we have a very special guest tonight, a very good friend, very talented guy.
Yes.
Again, I was like, I knew how talented he was, but having to put together this video of all the things he's involved in, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's a busy guy. He really
he's
is.
busy and talented.
Absolutely.
Crazy
Absolutely.
talented.
I even asked him if he would be interested in subbing for me in the long run.
Really?
Did you know that?
Did he
On bass.
did he agree?
He said he might consider it.
If he has a moment,
We'll
if he has
ask
like
him-
5 seconds.
We'll ask him again.
if he has
when
5
comes
seconds,
back.
I might
Yeah.
have 5 seconds.
We'll ask him when he comes on with us. But yeah.
Well, we have about, okay, where are we at? 7:15. We have about a couple more minutes and we're
Yeah.
going to bring him on.
So okay, so we're gonna catch you up on the mouse caper, right?
We thought we were through that. We thought we had gotten rid of all the mice in our home. And again, I will not kill a mice. I'm sorry, I will not kill a
Kill a
mouse.
mouse.
Kill a mouse. I won't kill one. I won't do it. So they live with us.
One was sitting at the table having a bowl of
Yeah.
cereal this morning.
I won't
so
do it. I
I think
mean,
we're getting a little
you want
out of
to,
hand with that situation.
yeah, we need to figure it out. I found out where they're coming in.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
stopped.
we found out where they're coming in.
We stopped the entry point,
Yeah,
and somehow they were able to
they
make
worked
their way through. it. Yeah,
You saw one last
I
night.
did.
Yeah, a little gray one.
Little gray one,
I
but
s-
it wasn't a dark gray
I
one.
saw a gray one last night too.
Wait, you did?
But I didn't tell you because I knew it'd freak you out. I didn't tell you. He was
Wait, was it a little light gray one?
he
though?
was a light gray one.
It was.
Yeah, he
the
saw
other
me and
ones have
kinda
been
freaked
dark
out.
gray. Did
Yeah.
he? What did he do?
He ran back into the stove.
Did he?
Yeah. So we have a little
Okay.
what do they call it? A little breakaway through the stove. They're
It's underneath.
Yeah, they're finding their
it's
way in.
underneath the cupboard. Is
So,
how they're getting it.
I have
underneath
no
the
kill
house.
traps and I trap them and I've trapped. There was one day where I trapped 10 and I must have released them out. And I feel like they circled around and came back through. It's releasing the same mouse probably for like,
yeah, she
2
won't even
days.
take them down the street, guys.
No.
We gotta correct.
it's
that
not my right to
situation.
kill mice.
Uh,
Not my right.
Pamela says, "Get a cat, Bran. The cat will play with it."
But okay, so can I take a little poll here? Is it not my right to kill a mouse? So I always tell
It's
Jim,
not your right to.
it's
kill
not
them.
my right. So if you were
Nobody
a mouse,
wants you to kill
if
a
you were a
mouse.
mouse, you'd be doing everything in your power to eat and drink and find shelter, right?
Yeah, I understand that,
Yeah, I just,
but I would pick somebody else's house. That's the
I
difference.
mean, my house is probably the best house I can pick because they're gonna live.
Yeah.
They're gonna live.
Hey, Janice. Thanks for joining us.
All right, you guys.
Okay, so
We are 3 minutes away from Mr. Raleigh, our special guest Raleigh, multi-talented Raleigh. We are going to find out, and I'm going to show you a video that I put together for him.
yes, that'd
Which-
be great.
He is a talent, I'm telling you.
Do you want to take us to the video right now?
Should we do it?
Sure,
All right.
we might as well
Should we
go
bring
ahead
him
and
in?
do it.
Let's bring him in.
Yes.
All right. So, you guys, we're going to do the video, and then we're going to bring on our good friend, Raleigh.
DeVore.
Yeah.
He does have a last name.
I know, but he's my friend, so he's just Raleigh.
Okay. Go ahead.
All right. Here we go. I'm going to find it. Hold on.
Hey guys,
Welcome, Raleigh.
I'm good. I'm good. Flattered, honored, touched that you'd asked me to be part of your broadcast, particularly knowing that the Lakers are on and you're missing it for this.
Absolutely. You're worth it, Raleigh.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, it's great to be with you guys. And I've seen some past episodes, and so to be on it is just great.
Oh man, well we're honored to have you. We wanted to start off just telling people a little bit about your background.
Yeah.
If you don't mind. First of all, where were you born, Raleigh?
Born in Glendale, California, and born and raised, here in LA. I have a little bit of a delay in my ear, so I'm going to work with it though. So anyway, sorry. Born here in Los Angeles. Think I was kind of destined for a life in show business. My grandmother, Maxine DeVore, was a vaudeville musician and traveled the country with her musical troupe, and grew up around movie sets. My sister was a childhood actress, and now her name's Heather Haas, and she's a location scout now and working on 9/11, the Fox show, and super proud of her. So I think just being around it had a big impact on me. And so it was inevitable I would do something. Yeah, as a kid, I used to sing. It was like American Idol. I'd sing songs a cappella in front of my second grade, classroom, and always wanted to be in a rock band. Wasn't sure exactly what instrument I was going to play, but yeah, settled on drum. Well, I play a little bit of everything, but mostly a drummer. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
And I think we lost audio.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
We're good.
Okay.
are we good?
Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Okay. So, what instrument did you actually start playing first, Raleigh?
Well, I had tried guitar, but guitar just felt kind of strange to me, and still does. How I ended up settling on drums, I was a huge, actually, Elton John fan. And actually, there were two big things that sort of made a huge impression on me when I was a kid. One was seeing Elton John in the Tommy movie, and discovering the Who through that. And the other was going to see Kiss and Cheap Trick in 1977 at the LA Forum. Both those two things just completely blew my mind. And there was part of me that wanted to sort of live in those two events and just sort of stay there. And I guess in a surreal way, I've sort of made that happen through the tribute band world. But to answer your question, yeah, it started with drums, and then I started reading about the Who's Peter Townsend, and how he would demo songs for the Who and play all the instruments himself.
Wow. Wow. I didn't know that.
How is that possible? And I learned about overdubbing and so on and so forth. Ended up buying a guitar, buying a bass, and started to write my own songs. And that's kind of how I started getting into guitar. But drums still feel the most comfortable for me to play. Drums, then bass, then guitar, and keyboards I'll usually play when I'm writing a song. But definitely most comfortable on drums, yeah.
At what age did you start playing?
I started playing at about 12 years old. So I had seen The Who and saw Keith Moon play and decided, okay, that's the job I'd like to have. This is the closest I can get to it, being in the tribute band world. And at the time, I was also going to a Catholic military school in Anaheim, St. Catherine's Military School. And what was happening there was we would have to march in the afternoon, no matter how hot it was outside, except the drummers, they would put over in the corner under the shady trees, and they'd rock out the cadence while everybody else marched. And I thought, this is good. I can get out of marching, learn how to play drums, and and start making my way into somehow being in a rock and roll band. So yeah, it started getting out of marching, and I asked my family for a drum set when I was about 12 years old, and I'm pretty much self-taught. I took a few lessons along the way, but mostly it was just listening to Who albums and Led Zeppelin albums and trying to figuring out those riffs. And I'd been playing for about a year, and I had an incredibly hip guitar teacher in the 8th grade, a guy named John Anello. And he was putting together a rock band made up of the students.
Oh, wow.
And they were looking for a drummer. He had a friend of his, an adult, playing drums, and a friend of mine dragged me over to the rehearsal one day after school. And a friend of mine, Todd Morris, I owe you a lot for this, Todd. He said, oh, my friend Raleigh can play, and put him behind there. And so I think the first song that they ended up playing was Cat Scratch Fever. And I just, kind of knew it, just enough to tap along. And the guitar teacher said, you're in the band. That's it. You're joining. And that's, it wasn't much of a choice. So that's how I ended up. That was my first rock and roll band, was put together by the guitar teacher at Venado Middle School in Irvine.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what age did you start singing? What age? What age did you realize you loved to sing?
One more time.
What age did you realize you loved to sing? Sing.
Well, singing was
Singing.
a little. I kind of started when I was real little, doing the a cappella thing in front of the class, and then I kind of went underground. I actually didn't do much singing in a band until I was in my early 20s.
Oh, wow.
And I moved to LA, and I used to do sound at a club called Madame Wong's West in Santa Monica. I was there for about 3 years. Had you ever been there, Jim?
Yeah, we played there.
Did you really? So there were a lot of drummers at the time, and I was writing songs, but there weren't a lot of bass players around that I knew. Of course, if I knew, you at the time, this amazing singer bass player, I would have, tried to hook something up with you. But I wanted to try fronting a band, which I hadn't done before.
Sure.
So at the time, I'd met some other musicians, and I started a three-piece band, kind of inspired by the Police too a little bit at the time. And we all had blonde hair, so we called the band Blonde on Blonde. And that was the first time. I was like 22, 23. That was my first time lead singing in a band. And since then, I've been doing it off and on. Yeah, I love to sing now. Yeah. So, and but you know what's interesting? I feel comfortable having the guitar in front of me. Just doing the lead singer thing like Swan does and Step Again. I still have to be, I'm most comfortable behind the drums. Guitar, okay. Out there, just by that's still a little bit strange for me. But the guitar and the vocal I'm okay with. Yeah.
Well, what is your range, really? Are you a tenor, or do you like to sing the more baritone harmony parts?
Yeah, I'm more comfortable singing lower stuff.
Really?
Tackling the Cheap Trick thing has been incredibly challenging because Robin Zander's range is just way, way up here.
Yeah, it's great.
So,
That's right.
Yeah, that's been. I'm not, to be honest, totally comfortable singing that stuff because it's tough. It's tough to sing.
Yes, absolutely.
The low road or the high road? Definitely the low road, but I'm high road. So there we go. Again.
Can you hear me?
There we go. Yeah.
Are you still getting the echo?
I am just when I'm talking, but you're fine. Yeah.
Well, now down below the screen there, it says cam/mic. I wonder if it's.
Oh, okay. Should I click that?
There's an echo cancellation when you click on that. If you want to do that, maybe that'll.
So I feel like I might have just fixed that. How's that? Is that better?
That is better. Yeah. Hey, Magic Brenda.
Okay, great.
Much better. Sorry about that. Okay.
Rolly, I have to ask you because this is my love. Do you have any pets? Do you have any pets?
I am pet free. I had a cat for about 20 years.
God bless you, brother.
Oh, is that now I have had oh my gosh, I heard the whole mouse bit as we were coming on the air here. I had one in the house, you guys.
Mouse.
This is true confession time. I couldn't get rid of the thing. I felt so bad. I killed it with a drumstick.
Oh,
I did. I was like, boom, 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 boom. I was, I couldn't shoot him at that. I felt so bad. It's like, there's no way I could go to war. There's no way I could ever be a soldier. I feel for you, Brett. So, I haven't had any since, thank goodness, but it's going to be the live traps and take them out to pasture.
Because the word got out in the mouse community that you killed mouse with drums.
Yeah, I'm hitting other things besides drums with drumsticks. Oh, it's just terrible. Yeah, that's so bad. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so before we go any further,
yes, sir.
Would you be interested in doing some sub work with TLR on the bass?
Oh my gosh, now it's interesting you should say that. I've just started. I've never played Eagles stuff live before.
Really?
No, but the new duo that I'm putting together, we're incorporating some Eagles. So I'm just tackling, the Don Henley stuff.
Oh,
but I am crazy, but totally flattered that you would ask. Seriously considering it. Sure.
All right. All
I'll
right.
definitely keep you in mind there.
All right.
Because
Well,
he's a bass player. That's his second.
He does everything.
Yeah.
He does everything.
I've
He's
got.
a singer, drummer, like multi-talented guy.
Well,
Oh, thank you.
no, Raleigh, like I know that having to do a few different things in Zeppelin
Yep.
is difficult for me because it's very hard to stay at performance level on multiple instruments.
It is.
You practice them, all the instruments every day, or what's your practice regimen like?
I don't practice the drums so much now. Guitar is something I really have to work at.
I see.
In fact, just this afternoon, I ran through the Cheap Trick stuff in the first time in several months. So I don't practice every day unless I'm learning new material.
Yeah.
And then, I'm pretty good at woodshedding and like to be, really more than ready anytime I jump in or tackle anything. So,
Sure.
yeah. So new stuff for sure. How about you? I'm interested to know. By the way, folks, I am like this. I've been a Zeppelin fan for like many, many years. And so the part of me that like used to go see these guys as a fan is like totally geeking out right now that I'm on the broadcast with Jim and his lovely lady here. So
thank you, Raleigh. I appreciate that.
yeah, dude. Very cool to be with you guys.
Thank you. It's funny. All of the tributes that you're involved in
Yeah.
are all acts that I absolutely love. I've seen every one of them live.
Wow.
In fact, Elton John was the very first concert I ever went to. In '75, I went to see Elton at the Dodger Stadium. You know, the movie?
Dude, I wanted so bad to go to that show, but I was too little. My mother wouldn't take me.
Yes.
But just as an interesting side note, so Elton's one of the guitar players in the band at that time during the Dodger Stadium gig was Caleb Quay.
That's right. Yes.
Caleb Quay came in to the house here and rehearsed with, you guys know I'm in Kenny Metcalf, the amazing Elton John tribute artist.
Yeah.
Had Caleb Quay at the house here rehearsing for a show that we played with him.
Oh, man.
And I told him just what I'm telling you now. Oh, dude, I wanted to see it at Dodger Stadium. The fact that he was here kind of made up for it.
Yes.
It's like, okay, I'm good now. The scars have like disappeared. Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what I told him, Raleigh. He was at a festival playing with Zeppelin in
San
Glendora.
Dimas.
No, Glendora. It was Glendora.
I remember that.
Yeah,
Nice guy.
I came to him and I said, hey, the last time I saw you were on stage at Dodger Stadium in 1975.
Wow. Man.
Unbelievable.
Magical.
Now, let's catch everybody up on the all the different groups that you're currently in.
Great.
What are all the
Get your fingers
tributes?
ready, people.
Yeah,
Get your
let's
fingers
see.
ready. So one.
Okay. Oh my goodness. I counted. I wrote this down before we came in. It's 6 at the moment.
Oh man.
So
7.
7?
did you count? So I might have lost count. So that's
No, it
entirely
is.
possible.
It's
It is
Okay,
6.
all right.
Yes.
So we've got I suppose my main one is the Who generation, where I play Keith Moon, then Kenny Metcalf as Elton.
So good. So good.
Cheap Trick, which I'm fronting, playing guitar and singing in.
Yeah.
I'm in a brand new, it's been a year old. We kicked it off about a year ago, but 70s sort of tribute show band called Cousin Oliver's Cavalcade of Hits with my dear friend Robbie Rist, who was Cousin Oliver on the Brady Bunch back in the day. Yeah. And not many people know, but he is also equally known in LA for being a fantastic multi-instrumental, multi-talented musician, singer, songwriter, performer.
Wow.
And we've known each other. We met when we were 15 years old and have kept track of each other, been friends, the whole time. Over the years we'd miss each other and then, we'd sort of reconnect. And for decades now, we've kind of been flirting with the idea of doing a band together, but it didn't happen until about a year ago. Right before COVID, we were talking on the phone. He said, I have this idea to do this band, and it's going to encompass me just sort of embracing the Cousin Oliver character. And
Yeah.
there was a radio station here in LA called 93 KHJ, which was my world when I was growing up.
Yeah, the real Don Steele, right?
The real Don Steele, right. And so that is pretty much the menu for the set list that we're coming through with. And we're not really honing in on any classic rock at all.
Really?
It's a lot of the super pop stuff, the sort of comedy novelty songs of the day,
Okay.
some of the soul stuff that, the Spinners and stuff like that. We're doing a set list that really no one else is doing.
So
And I'm excited about that.
Should we segue into a really fun video right now?
Absolutely. You want to see the promo we did? Yeah, and then I'll talk more about it. Yeah, that sounds great.
All right, let's do it. Let's do
Cool.
it. Let's do it.
I know what to do with your room so they won't have to fight over it.
What's that, Oliver?
Make it into a guest room.
Who'd be the guest?
Me, Cousin Oliver.
Played a character named Cousin Oliver, and it sort of, followed me around these many years, going on like 40 of them, and 50 of them. And, I'm finally just saying, all right, fine, I'll own it. What do you want? Okay, here, fine. Every show will start with me going, ever get the feeling you've been had?
Show business tradition we like to call audience participation. Let's bring it down a little bit. She ran calling wildfire. She ran calling wildfire. She ran calling wildfire. Don't you remember you told me you loved me, baby? Said you'd come back this way again, baby. Baby, 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 oh baby. Love you, I really do. I keep telling you, I just gotta tell you, I love the reckless way. Love grows where my roots really goes, and nobody knows like me.
Very cool. Very cool. That's I think Robbie does quite a bit of stuff with a friend of ours, Christian Nesmith, who was
Yes.
in Led Zeppelin for a couple of years.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that? Yeah. He played Jimmy Page in
No
Led
kidding.
Zeppelin. I
For
think
like 2 years.
2 years.
2 years.
Wow, had no idea. Yeah, I watching this, I so missed the band. That was our one and only gig that was done right before COVID hit.
Now, is there anybody in the group that we might know, Raleigh, in that group?
The other lead singer, bass player, Karen Bassett, was in a band called the Pandoras that was signed to IRS Records, I believe, back in the 80s. And I've seen her around for years. Don Frankel, the other guy on keyboards, is a childhood friend of Robbie's, and they've been doing musical stuff since I think Robbie was, single digits. There's some great photos on our Facebook page of them doing some TV spots, doing music. So they go way back. And then the other female is my musical partner, Leela. We've been doing. She's played with Cheap Trick, my band, a couple times, and was just part of this new Cousin Oliver's Cavalcade of Hits band. And we're doing a new duo called The Two that we've been slowly getting together the past few months, and are super excited. And that's a whole new musical adventure for me. During COVID, there's been a lot of people have been having to reinvent themselves, or maybe come up with different ways to do work and stuff like that. And one thing that's been consistent with gigs, even through most of the COVID thing, is the smaller ones, the duos, the trios, the small combos.
Absolutely.
And I've accompanied people playing percussion and stuff like that in the past, but I've never led one. And so I had this idea to put it together, and it's something that would enable me to play drums and play guitar and sing, kind of do a little bit of both at one show. Leela's able to cover a lot of the guitars and bass stuff on keyboards while I'm drumming. And so we're really excited about it. We're doing a promo video in a few weeks. They're going to be out. In the meantime, we put out a little snippet of us doing Kashmir, the Led Zeppelin song. And we quite an eclectic song set we're going to have from the 60s to now. And we're going to try to do stuff that people are familiar with, but they don't really hear a lot of cover bands or duos doing, to sort of keep it fresh. So that's what we're shooting for anyway. So super excited about that. Yeah. And we're going to release some more snippets in the next coming weeks before the promo video. So
awesome. Yeah. Let us know when you're going to be doing that, Rolly.
Oh, thanks, dude. Yeah.
Come and see the group.
Before
I forget, I was I was watching some footage of you playing with Cheap Trick, and also what was it? Oh, Charlie's Angels.
Charlie's Angels.
Yeah.
Oh, we love Charlie's Angels.
But I got to tell you, you got to put a bug in Jen's ear.
Yes.
The next tribute project that she does.
Yes.
Cheryl Crowe. She looks exactly like
She
Cheryl
does.
Crowe.
And can she sing like Cheryl Crowe?
Do you know can she sing lead?
She is super talented. I know she's most comfortable singing backup, but we're in Cheap Tricks together. Instead of Rick Nielsen, we have Chick Nielsen, who's Jennifer. She's in the Kiss tribute band that I've sort of been, Pris, which you showed the clip of. I've kind of been sitting in with Pris for the past 5 years. And she's, instead of Ace Frehley, she's Lace Frehley in the band, by the way. That is the funnest band. We are all such dear friends. And nobody seems to mind that there's a guy in back sort of sitting in. And they've been sort of billing it as female fronted. And they gave me they did christen me with the name, instead of Peter Chris, I'm Peter Pris on the drums.
That's great.
Not sure how I feel about that yet, but just kind of rolling with it. But, Kiss, I that's such that music is just so fun to play. And I've got this move to where, after a show, I'll usually stay in makeup, sometimes in full costume, and walk into a Denny's at like 2 a.m. in full makeup, just to startle people.
You got to do it in Hollywood, and then you get right in.
Yeah, LA, they don't really notice.
So
Orange County, San Diego, it's like,
So we have Pamela asking if you're touring anywhere soon. Are you playing anywhere soon?
Oh my gosh, should I do the plugs now? Is that okay?
Do them.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. So, thankfully, now that, the COVID thing is starting to die down, and I'm sure, Jim, this is the same with you, things are just, it's like being shot out of a cannon. Next week, I'm actually doing a semi-musical thing. There's a new show on Access TV that's tentatively right now. I don't know if this is the actual name of the show yet, but it's a rock and roll memorabilia project show.
Yes.
I don't know if you heard about that from our dear friend Katie Darrell.
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead and tell everybody.
Going to shoot a segment on that. It has to do, I guess, with rare pieces that people have. I happen to have a copy of the Who album, The Who Sellout, most notably for its song "I Can See for Miles" was the big hit off of that one. A family friend gave me a copy of the album, and I was told it has autographs of the original Who members on it.
Oh, wow.
But it's always been a mystery because I've never had it checked out, by handwriting experts. Apparently something like that is going to happen. So I'm shooting that next week in Burbank, and that'll be airing sometime this year on Access TV. Super excited about that.
Yeah.
Gigs coming up. The next one with Kenny Elton Metcalf is at Lake Elsinore Stadium on Saturday, May 29th, coming up in a few weeks.
Awesome.
Cousin Oliver's Hits. We have a show Friday, July 2nd at Campland on the Bay in San Diego, which sits right on Mission Bay. I don't know if you're familiar with it. SeaWorld's right there.
Yeah.
Gorgeous place, July 2nd. The 4th of July, Cheap Tricked at Campland on the Bay.
Oh, nice.
Okay, cool.
Which should be a hoot.
Absolutely.
Friday, July 16th, Charlie's Angels at Patty's Station in San Juan Capistrano. Now, you just played there, Jim. Yeah?
Last weekend.
How was that?
Night. It's so nice.
It was
I
a
love
lot
it.
of fun,
I loved
yeah.
every bit of it.
We had a
so
blast.
So fun.
We actually did a acoustic show there.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Because it was a little smaller stage, and we've got 6 players, so we thought that'd be the best way to go with that, and it turned out great. We had a
So my friend Shannon says Raleigh and Brenda coordinated their wardrobe.
Hey, look at that.
I feel like we did.
This is Bantam interaction here. Synchronicity. Oh, no.
I didn't get the memo.
Nope. Raleigh, you and I, we're good.
Fashion twins.
I've had so many people ask this question of me.
Yeah.
I get to ask it of somebody else who's just as busy as I am in the tribute world.
Yeah.
And talented.
How do you juggle all of the projects that you're currently in?
You get like 2.5 hours sleep every night, right?
Well, there you go. Fortunately, most of the bands tend to hopscotch as far as how often they play.
Yes.
So I know, like in Kenny Metcalf's wonderful Elton band, which I just love. Oh my gosh. He's got some subs for all the band members. So if we have any other gigs, he can sort of fly us in. It's going to be interesting once my duo starts kicking in. That's going to be a challenge, because I think there's a lot more opportunities to play. Oh, by the way, if I could do one more plug.
Sure.
The two, we have our debut gig also at Campland on the Bay on Friday, August 6th.
Oh.
So looking forward to that one. But basically, I can kind of hopscotch around. I mean, same with you, Jim, pretty much?
Yeah, you know what I basically do, Raleigh, is I save Fridays and Saturdays, usually for TLR and Led Zeppelin, and then I try to book, Deja Vu, Heart of Gold, Taylor Made Tapestry on weeknights or Sundays.
Thursdays.
So they rarely ever collide. Every once in a while, we'll get a Saturday night with one of those groups if Zeppelin is not playing, but to try to avoid the double booking thing.
Conflict.
Dude, I'm taking notes.
Yeah.
You just gotta.
A lot of work.
Yes.
You gotta hopscotch them around. Yeah.
Juggling.
But you're right. I mean, good subs is having good subs is the real key to all of that.
Yeah.
It is, and that sets everybody free to be able to play more and do their thing. And so thankful to have that going on in my life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We have another question here, Raleigh. I don't know if you can see that. It's from Chopsy Haberman.
What kind of music is Charlie's Angels? The era of music that my buddy Jennifer is shooting for with the band is basically from Well, pretty much the era of the Charlie's Angels TV show. So from like 1974, 75-ish to like 1980.
Okay.
Pretty much all the hits that you heard on the radio. A lot of female stuff, of course.
Sure.
But we're doing Kiss and Cheap
Yes.
Trick and throwing some of that stuff in there too. But that's mostly what it's concentrating on. Yeah.
That's
Fun
great.
band. Another super fun band.
Oh yeah, they played at the world's greatest tribute reunion
Aw.
show.
Reunion. Oh yeah, that was so
Yeah.
what a
Great.
fun night. Boy,
Yep.
I hope we do that again.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to happen. We're just debating as to whether it's going to be able to happen this year
We'll do
or
it.
early next year.
I feel like it's going to be 2022. 2022.
If we wait that long, then it's not going to be annual. You know what? I mean?
Right?
Nothing was annual this year. It was all weird.
If we can even maybe do it safely outside somewhere, it'd be a blast. Just to keep the annual thing going.
Yeah.
We can't break that up. No. Yeah.
All right, so Raleigh, which
Yeah.
band demands you the most musically? Which band?
Which is the most demanding of you musically?
I would say vocally definitely Cheap Tricked.
Oh
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah. And dude, yeah. I mean, Robin
great
Sanders
job with it though. We
So
saw your
good,
first
so
show.
good.
We were at your
Yeah.
first-
at the Rose. That's right.
Yeah.
You guys were there. That was so
Such a
cool
good
having you there.
Such a good show.
What's really cool is the guys in Cheap Trick have through a number of different avenues found out about my band.
Oh really?
Oh yeah, and they've actually plugged us on their Facebook page
Oh, that's awesome.
and invited us to see a show of theirs. Katie Darrell and Robin Zander were talking about the band
Yeah.
recently on Katie's thing. So the guys, they actually know who I am, which is just
Yeah.
for the 12-year-old who went to go see Kiss and them. It's
Yes.
really just amazingly surreal. I become friendly with their drummer Dax Nielsen. In fact, I got Dax on Katie's Access TV show, The Top 10 Revealed, which I'm still a part of. I don't know if any music fans, if you have not seen that show,
Oh yeah.
such a fun show to watch.
Yes.
Hosted by our buddy Katie, and
Yes.
still working with her. I provide all the drums, most of the guitars, and some of the speaker amps that you see in the background of the show.
Oh, cool. That's
So I've
Yeah.
been privileged to work on that show with Katie too, doing makeup and
Oh, nice! I didn't know that.
fun stuff. Yep.
Cool, very cool.
yes.
Yeah.
So I know, Raleigh.
Yes, sir.
I know this is a tough question because it'd be difficult for me to answer. But who is your favorite band of all time?
Oh well, you could probably tell by the pinball machines behind me, and so definitely the Who is number
I
one.
was gonna say you have some
Yeah.
amazing pinball machines behind you.
Now, do you spend a
Yeah.
lot of time on those machines? Do you play them a lot?
I do, not as often as you might think, but when I don't, they're just bitchin' art pieces to have, you know.
Wally, when I come
Yeah.
to your home,
Yeah.
can I play that pinball?
Oh, it's on. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're free games. I don't charge anybody. We're not trying to steal your quarters. So, yeah.
I want to play it. I want to play it.
You're anytime. You guys are welcome anytime. Yes, absolutely. Free pinball arcade here. Yes.
No. So let's get into the Curb Your Enthusiasm connection.
Curb. Yeah,
Uh,
your relationship with Larry David.
Yeah. How did you first become involved with that show, Raleigh?
Well, it goes back to, I guess, being with my sister on movie sets when I was a kid. I never really aspired to be an actor per se, but just being around it has always been really fun for me.
Yeah.
In my late teens, I got into just doing background extra work just for fun and made a couple appearances that are still out there. I'm in a scene in an early Tom Hanks movie called Bachelor Party. And I'm in it. I did an Earth, Wind, and Fire video like back in 1983. Just a real quick clip of me. I thought, okay, well, this is fun, but I'm gonna wait till I get old. I'm older to do. I'm gonna get back into this at some point, just for fun. And I might have lost you guys in the audio. I don't know if you can still hear me okay.
Oh yeah.
Then we got you.
Okay, terrific. Okay, good.
We're
Excellent.
we're spotlighting you.
It's been about 15 years ago. I called up Central Casting just for fun and registered with them, and they booked me on the show ER. And I think because of my shaved head, they gave me like this giant, big, bloody head wound, and rolled me in on a stretcher, and it was just so fun. And then I started, it was kind of like being Forrest Gump. I started making these little appearances in TV and movies. I had a small part playing drums on CSI New York. I'm in a scene in the comedy movie Blades of Glory with Will Ferrell playing a photographer. In the movie The Holiday, just a quick scene there. And I got a call just sort of randomly to go stand in on Curb Your Enthusiasm. And just a few months before that, I'd heard of the show but had not seen it. And I was visiting my father, and he said, "Have you seen the show, Curb Your Enthusiasm?" I said, "Well, I've heard about it, but haven't seen it." He goes, "We got to watch it." We did a mini marathon of it.
Oh,
like just a short time. And then so like within weeks later, I got a call to stand in on the show. And I'm like, "Dad, you're never going to guess, who called." And this was season 6. It was about 15 years ago. And I ended up just getting along really great with everybody there.
Yeah.
And they've kept me ever since. Now, what's funny about it, I'm the first actual live human being they've had as a stand-in. Before that, in fact, Larry was asking me a couple months ago when we were shooting. He goes, "Rolly, what did we do before you were on the show?" Because he'd forgotten, and it's a little embarrassing but kind of funny. Before me, the budget wasn't what it is now with HBO.
Mm-hmm.
But they had to focus on something. When you're standing in, you're basically like the star of the show before the cameras roll. A lot of time you're just standing there, but sometimes you're moving, doing camera rehearsals and whatever. And then when it's time to shoot, Larry comes in and I step aside. But before me, get this, they had a mannequin head on a pole with wheels.
That's a lot.
And I told Larry, I said, "Shows you how easily replaceable I am." So thanks for hanging on to me for all these years. Yeah.
I got this.
So how many seasons in total has the show been in existence for?
We just finished like a week ago. We just finished shooting season 11. But for a while, we didn't know if it was going to come back on again. I think, let's see, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, after season 8, there was about a 5-year hiatus where we weren't shooting anything. And during that time, this is one of the coolest things that's ever happened to me, by the way, let me just say. During that time, Larry wrote and starred in an HBO movie called Clear History. And he plays a guy named Nathan. And 10 minutes into the film, Nathan changes his name to Rolly DeVore. Named the character after me in the movie.
That's hilarious.
I mean, what a sweet, wonderfully cool thing. And it's still surreal for me to watch because, Kate Hudson, Michael Keaton, "Hey, Rolly, how's it going?" And there's one scene where there's a birthday party and this woman goes, "That Rolly DeVore is just the nicest guy, da, 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 or where's that?" I mean, who else,
Yeah.
I've been, I feel very blessed to be part of the show. And interestingly, the tribute band world that I'm in and the show has collided a few times. Of course, we're all part of the world's greatest tribute band family.
Yeah,
on Access TV. That Mark Cuban. It was Mark Cuban's idea, his station, but of course, Katie Darrell's the one that I don't think there's anybody. Let me just give Katie a plug here real quick. I don't think there's anybody else that could have put together the show like she did. She's not just an on-air personality. She's a producer. She's a writer. She's a go-getter. She's a visionary. And we in the tribute band community really have a lot to thank her for. She's kind of like, I kind of think of her as George Bailey in It's a Wonderful Life. Like,
Yes.
That's
where
true.
would a big part of our lives be were it not for her and Mark Cuban?
That's
So
right.
thank you, Katie
right.
and Mark.
Right.
Yes, absolutely.
So back to Curb Your Enthusiasm. So season 10, there's guest stars all the time on Curb, and I found out that Mark Cuban was going to be guest starring on Curb Your Enthusiasm, coming in for a cameo. And I had not met Mark yet, but obviously I had a lot to thank him for. So the day he arrived, I came in wearing my Access TV World's Greatest Tribute Bands t-shirt. And, got to set, saw him there, had a blazer, did one of these and showed him. I said, "Hey, Mark, how you doing?" And he's like, "Hey, that's my show." I said, "My name's Rolly DeVore. It's great to meet you." I said, "I'm Larry David's stand-in here, but I also stand in for Keith Moon in a Who tribute band called The Who Generation that was on your TV show." He's like, "That was you?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he said, "Oh man, you guys were great. And I watched your segment 2 times in a row." Yes, a hell of a nice guy, super nice guy. And then to top things off, although this was not, this didn't quite make the episode of Curb. They shoot a lot of extra footage. It's improv, and when they're editing for the time, not everything gets put in, including celebrity cameos sometimes. But we filmed a scene including Mark Cuban, myself, and Larry David, if you could believe that.
Wow. Wow.
I've got the photos from it, but it was a scene where there was a sort of a secretary at a podium that Larry was dating, I believe, and of course he's annoying her. And I come up and we chat, and then I'm out, and then Mark Cuban comes up, and there was a little chat that happened. So although it didn't make the cut, still, what an amazing! So, what are the odds of this happening?
Yeah,
super,
I know.
yeah,
That's amazing.
super cool
That's
thing.
amazing.
And then I don't know how we are for time, but there's 2 other things that the sort of Curb and tribute band thing happened.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I was just doing extra work on a show called The Gilmore Girls that our buddy Julie Dolan was on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mentioned last week. And they set me up on a scene. And this was in the days of MySpace. And I was sharing MySpace info with the person that they put me in the scene with. And I saw this Who tribute band on their MySpace page. And I was like, what? It's like, okay, I know the Beatles tributes. I know Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
What's this Who tribute thing? And saw that this particular band had a show in Huntington Beach. So I went to see them.
Okay.
I bought the replica of Keith Moon's drum set at the time and had no idea what I was going to do with it. And went and saw the show, enjoyed the band. And I messaged the bass player and said, "Hey, my name's Rolly DeVore. I'm a big Who fan. I have this Keith Moon drum set. Let me know if you need a sub drummer and I'll put on a wig." And I got a message back, "Hey, thanks a lot. Maybe we can get together and jam sometime." A few weeks went by and I got another message, and my friend Mike Bish, who was the bass player in the band, and Darren Loke, who was the Pete Townsend, they wanted to get together and jam. And we did that, got along wonderfully, put together my first Who tribute band with those guys at the time called My Generation. But it all started basically from being on the set of the Gilmore Girls and discovering this initial Who band. So now, years later, Lauren Graham, the star of the Gilmore Girls, is appearing on Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Really?
Yes.
Man.
That's
no.
awesome.
So I told her the whole story that I just shared here, and she's like, "Wow, are you kidding me? What a small world." And I ended up writing the whole story out on Instagram, and she ended up publishing it on her webpage, so on and so forth. So that was a tie-in. And then the third one was Cheap Trick. My buddy Jeff Garland, who co-stars on Curb, was in a movie with Cheap Trick called Daddy Daycare. They play Surrender, and Jeff runs up and grabs the microphone and starts singing Surrender with the band. So he's friends with all those guys. So yeah, between Jeff and some other musician buddies, I've been able to, know the guys in Cheap Trick. So and another Curb Your Enthusiasm tribute band tie-in.
That's
So
amazing.
yeah,
That's so cool.
it's a big world, but a small world.
But so fun. Such a fun
Yeah.
world. Such a
Mhm.
fun world. So fun. So fun.
Mhm.
Now, is there anything new on the horizon that we should be looking out for?
We got new stuff. We got new stuff.
What-
Yeah, I suppose if anybody's out there watching, you can find all the projects I'm doing on Facebook. The Who Generation,
Mhm.
the Two Music Duo. If you look up the Two Music Duo, Cousin Oliver's Hits or Cousin Oliver's Cavalcade of Hits, Cheap Tricked. You can find us on there, and I'm sure I think Charlie's Angels, the band.
Yeah.
Is on there. And be looking out for a brand new promo video that's going to be, it's pretty ambitious. I don't want to give anything away, but it's going to be pretty crazy, this duo thing I'm putting together.
That's with Charlie Angels?
Oh, that's with the Two.
Oh, the Two. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
It's going to be kind of a cross between Sonny and Cher meets the White Stripes meets I don't know what. So
I'm excited.
Super excited about that.
I know both you guys, and I know you guys are totally talented.
Yeah, you guys are.
Thank you. Thank you. So, but super blessed to be as busy a musician as you are too, Jim. I would have never thought, without giving away our ages, I would never have dreamed at this point in my life that I would be as busy doing music as I am.
Yeah.
I never would have dreamed. And most of it is due to the tribute band world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about it is, Raleigh, you have such a great attention to detail and work ethic that there's so many tributes that would love to have you involved in their project.
Yeah.
So it's great that that you're able to play in so many different groups and be an asset to every one of them. And
sweet to say so. Thank you.
yeah, maybe and hopefully an asset to the long run in the future at some point.
Oh, there it is. Well, half the fun is getting ready for these shows.
Yeah, absolutely.
And particular with tribute bands, I've sort of honed in on bands that are very visual.
Yes.
So half the fun is hunting the guitars and the drum sets and the costumes and and in my house finding room for all this stuff is a challenge too at the moment.
I have to tell you, I love the pinball machines behind you, and I love that chair to the
the bubble chair here. Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Thank you. Yeah, I sort of lean towards mid-century modern and 70s kind of decor. So I love decorating and furniture hunting, and I don't have anything else to decorate now though, so I'm kind of stuck. But
by the way, Raleigh's one of the snappiest dressers in the business.
Oh,
Snappy.
Well, I take after Brenda here. I mean, come on, right?
Oh man. So Larry Paschal has a question for you here.
Do I have the pictures of Lily? I drum set for the Hooter. Yes, I actually have replicas of 3 of Moon's drum kits. So I've got the pictures of Lily one, which is his most wild looking kit. It has a picture of him and a British flag, and it's quite a flamboyant kit. I have a replica of Moon's first red sparkled double bass kit. There was a guy in England that put this. I'm going to geek out on drummer talk for just a second, since we have a drumming question or drum set question.
Sure.
Moon used to use Premier drums with Rogers hardware. This guy in England put together, I mean, it's an exact replica of Moon's kit, and put it up on eBay several years ago. So I bought that. And then I have a replica of Moon's first double he had this drum set that was like 2 rows of tom-toms, and it's a black Premier drum set. And occasionally, the Elton John band I play in and the Who generation share the same band members. And back in the early 70s, Keith Moon turned Nigel Olsson, Elton's drummer, onto the Premier Drum Company. And they were both playing a black Premier drum set at the time.
Wow. Wow.
So I'll use this drum kit when the Who and the Elton band play together. I sort of reconfigure the drums, and we've got the matching drum set for both bands.
That reminds me of a question that I wanted to ask you.
Yes, sir.
There's a picture of you with Roger Daltrey. What were the circumstances behind that?
Oh, got to play with Roger, play a couple songs with him at Rockstar Fantasy Camp about 9 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And
yes.
what a dream come true that was. He walked in, and I don't think he knew the songs that we were going to play with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I kicked off the track for Baba O'Reilly and started playing. And he's sort of looking. He starts singing, we break into the song, and right in the middle of it, he turned back and looked at me, over the drum set, and goes, "Great drums." And I'm like, "Thank you." And that was what it's out on YouTube somewhere out there, us playing. And afterwards was extremely complimentary and just said, "Hey man, really great drums, super tight, pleasure to play with you." I was like, "Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?" Now I got one other interesting thing about the Who that I've noticed that Roger is doing that I think he might have got from my singer, Stephen Cheryl, who plays Roger Daltrey in the Who generation.
Yes.
When we do Baba O'Reilly, there's a part of the song where Pete Townsend is singing, "Don't cry, don't raise your eye, it's only teenage wasteland." Yeah. During that part, our singer, Stephen, takes the microphone, wraps his arm like he's shooting up, drugs or something like that, with the microphone, just as a theatrical bit to add to the show. We noticed that Roger has started doing that at Who shows, and fairly confident, and what a compliment. Flattered. Pretty sure he got that from Steven. So yeah, we think he's watched the Who generation online, or maybe on Access TV. Maybe even seen the show.
Well, could be. And Steve, I think Stephen is the closest sounding Roger Daltrey in any tribute that I've ever heard.
True.
It's
True.
Unbelievable how much he sounds like him.
He is. I'm going to agree with you. He is just fantastic. He initially kind of ventured into the Who world, not doing Roger Daltrey. There was a production of the Who's the Jimmy character in that. And they performed that as a musical with a Who tribute band, including some of the guys that I ended up playing in my first Who tribute band with. And then he sort of got recruited, because he's such a fantastic singer, into doing Roger Daltrey with some other Who tribs around. And so, yeah, I've known him for over 10 years now. And when the circumstances sort of came about that I was, looking for a new Roger, oh my gosh, he's, very blessed. All those guys, Larry Hampton, Brian Paulson,
Oliver.
such a fun band. And if I could just interject one other story about Brian Paulson, our bass player.
Absolutely, sure.
We love Brian.
Brian and I go way back. I went to high school with his sister, Lori Paulson. And I hadn't met Brian until, I'd met him in the first Who tribute band, or second Who tribute band that I played in. And he came up to me and said, "Hey, Rolly, my name is Brian Paulson. You went to school with, my sister Lori?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Dude, I used to watch you play when we were in grade school." I'm like, "What?" he goes, I was at Deerfield Elementary School. This is one of the first times I ever played drums in front of a live audience. I was in 8th grade. He goes, I was there when you played with the school band, played the drum set with the school band. And he followed me as you know, we were teens, but never came up and introduced himself.
Yeah.
So it's kind of this Twilight Zone episode. So we have this whole connection back in time, and now we're playing together in the Who generation. So and Larry Hampton is just, you know, fantastic Townsend. I mean, you know, and I know he does TLR with you and has all the bands going. So
what a talent he is.
Yeah.
And most important, he does game night.
Hey, there it is.
We do game night.
What kind of games are you playing on this game night of yours?
We do Cards Against Humanity.
It's
okay. I've played that once. I played that one time. Okay.
How about Taboo?
Have not tackled that one. No.
That one's a good one. Also,
it's Mayhem.
What is the music? What's the music one that we do?
Oh, Encore.
I don't know about this Encore.
You have to sing the.
Well, the card. You know, you roll the dice. It goes on to a color, and then you pick a card, and there's a word, and you have to sing a song that has that in one of the lyrics.
Oh, I'd enjoy that actually. Yeah,
it's super fun.
And then Confessions is another one that we.
Confessions that's a deep game. Deep,
okay,
because you're confessing.
Yeah.
Oh, kind of more of a probing kind of deal. Okay.
It's game night at the Wootens.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, would love to join you for one of these festive game nights of which you speak.
Would love to have you.
That would be great. That would be great. Well, Rolly,
thank you so much, Rolly.
Thank you so much for being with us tonight.
We are so honored to have you. We are so honored to have you as a friend, a bandmate.
Wait, bandmate?
Well,
not yet.
Well, we're working on that.
Right.
He hasn't committed to that yet.
I'm already weaving you into the long run.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. There's a spot possibly. Well, like I said, I'm starting to work on Eagle stuff with the two, and we are just not to give the whole thing away, but there will be a brief Eagle segment in the upcoming promo video.
Oh, awesome!
So maybe that could be my audition for you guys.
2022, I'm going to bring back World's Greatest.
Oh, wouldn't that be a hoot?
Yeah, we're going to be doing.
No,
it again.
we're going to do it.
It's going to happen. Not the show, but the reunion.
The reunion. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Some way, somehow.
We'll be together again.
Yes, absolutely.
Excellent.
I'm trying to get her to do it in 2021 so we can keep it on an annual basis.
Nah, Katie says 2022.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see about it.
Well, plan on being there. Yeah, playing or not, or just watching. That should be. What a great group of people that we all have in the tribute band community. You know, it's very supportive and everyone's cheering each other on, and I love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what it should be. Absolutely.
It should be. Yep. And you guys, thank you so much again for having me. Again, honored, flattered. You guys, be sure to check in on the Laker game after this.
Yeah,
I don't feel like they're doing very good.
No, Bob Bacon keeps sending the score over, and they're down by 13 at halftime. That's
oh shoot, okay.
That's unacceptable, right?
Right. Fingers crossed. Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
We love you, Rolly.
Love you too, guys. Thank you again so much.
Great night, and hopefully we'll see you at a show soon.
Absolutely. We'll see you down the road in a little bit.
All right.
All right. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Love you.
All right, guys. That was
that was so fun.
Rolly DeVore from several different groups.
Oh man,
multi-instrumentalist, great singer.
Yeah, he's
amazing. So happy to have him with us tonight. And we're happy to have you with us. Thank you for joining us and spending the last a little over an hour. Next week we're going to be back on Thursday. So next week we are not doing Woot Wednesday. We have a scheduling conflict. Yeah. You have a scheduling conflict. I'll be here, but you won't be.
Thursday with our friend
Yes, Chrissy Rass.
Yeah.
So mark your
With-
calendars for Thursday.
Yes.
And yeah, she is with Totally Go-Go's,
Yes.
Fem Halen, and Pulp Vixen.
Yes.
So please mark your calendars and plan to join us.
Thursday, the 27th.
Yep, when we come back and ask the eternal question.
Woot's happening.
All right. Have a great night, guys. Keep on rocking in the free world, and we will see you next week.